We've got 2 Swiss crews, the Czechs, Ukraine, Austria and South Africa in this one, so I'm sure you'll be watching closely in South Africa on this one.
So in lane 1, Salome Ulrich and Sophia Meakin. See them later in the Swiss quad. Sophia Meakin, the former lightweight athlete. Switzerland won. Fabienne Schweitzer and Lisa Locher, they won the demonstration race, this double. There are the Czech Republic double. Marketa Nedolova, furthest away from us, and in the stroke seat, Alice Prosikova. The Ukrainian women's double, Diana Serebrinskaya in the bow seats. Yevgenia Dovhodko from the Ukrainian quad that finished 4th, now in the double. Familiar features of Magdalena Lobnik, closest to us. Olympic bronze medalist in the single scull, Katerina Lobnik, her sister behind her. That double been training in Texas. Finished 2nd in the race for lanes. And the South African double, Paige Badenhorst, she's in the bow seat. And Catherine Williams in the stroke seat, the 22-year-old. Been training in the Lesotho Mountains. And there's the South African flag, Greg.
Yeah, South African flag. There was some support, giving it a good wave. And this one where there was an exhibition race yesterday, but we were slightly confused as to why the crews are in the lanes that they're in.
Yeah.
They're actually...
South Africans finished 3rd in that
South Africans
race.
finished 3rd, they're over on lane 6. But the winners of that exhibition race was the Swiss double, who were in lane 2, ahead of the Lobnig sisters, who are in lane 5.
He's tough, Ian Wright, isn't he, the chief coach of Switzerland, making the Swiss women rowing the doubles and then the quads, double up in the quads later on. They've got a really tough morning's work ahead of them, haven't they?
They do have a tough morning's work. There's nothing really more unpleasant than having to race your teammates, and they're side by side, those 2 Swiss doubles in lanes 1 and 2. So we get this good view of the Ukrainian crew from above, moving very well. So as we say, we're not sure that it'll be the crews in lanes 3 and 4 that will be the ones to watch here. We're hoping for a very close one across the field.
The Vodko there in the stroke seats, coached by Oliena Chuprina. We were chatting with her last night at the delightful barbecue here at the course. And, well, early doors, the crew on the far side, Ulrich and Sophia Meakin, the former lightweight oarswoman, just going out level with the Austrians, the Lobnig sisters. They finished 2nd behind the Swiss in that demonstration race, but the Lobnigs were pretty okay with that. You know, they said, we're going to go back, have a little think, and we'll move on for the final, which is what they seem to be doing, Greg.
Yeah, no, you can see the Lobnig sisters down here in boat number 5. Of course, Magdalena Lobnig spent about 10 years in the single scull, including getting an Olympic bronze medal. Now rowing with her sister, Katerina. And you can see them, yeah, boat number 5, just pushing it into a bit of a lead. And like you said, Martin, hard to know what you do with an exhibition race if there's 6 entries. Just get a nice view now of the Ukrainians.
Yeah, we're looking at Yevgenia Dovhodko. And the Ukrainian team have been training for about 3 months in Banyoles, and they've been in Zagreb for nearly a month now. And out in front, you can see it is the Austrians with that boat deck lead over the Ukrainians to their right, but on their left, what a great scull from the South Africans. Catherine Williams, successful under-23 athlete, has talked about the difficulty adjusting to being an under-23 athlete, Greg, to being a senior woman, and very, very big one. And she's now really stepped up, I think, in terms of being at the front of the field in this World Cup event.
Well, this will be great experience for her to be in this field, as we're taking a look in now. We're with, is that the Czech double? They are towards the back of the field, aren't they?
Yeah, Paige Badenhorst, the South African bowwoman there. You can see her the closest to us. She was a successful athlete in the boat race in that fantastic Cambridge crew that won in 2022.
Yeah, great experience. Been at Michigan Wolverine and then coming over to Cambridge. So she's enjoying a European rowing.
And it's difficult for her to change from the sweep rowing to the sculling movement, isn't it? You had to make that change, didn't you?
No, that's right, yeah. But no, the university experience will be fantastic to be in those bigger crews with those big projects. Now finding herself, as you say, gaining experience in the double. But interesting, that Swiss crew up in lane 2, it was I guess the Swiss B crew, the second crew in lane 1 that were the early leaders. But a strong move really from the more experienced Swiss double now taking the lead on.
Yeah, Schweitzer and Lotscher. Schweitzer in the double last year finished 12th. Lotscher, of course, in that fast Swiss quads. Struggled with a bit of COVID before the World Championships. Thought they might medal, but they ended up finishing 5th. And they have moved through the Austrians. And they paced that race really well. They weren't worried at all when the Austrians went off. And I think that's credit to them and their coaching team. Fabian Schweitzer from the Lucerne Club, Lisa Lotscher also from the Megan village near Lucerne.
Well, you can see the stroke rates in the bottom right-hand corner. They've been pretty stable throughout the race. Pretty much every time I've looked at the graphic that I get, I see everyone at 36 strokes a minute, and there's really not much change from that. The Lobnig sisters, you can see them here from Austria. They were the early leaders. They're still sculling really well, but just that Swiss double in lane 2 sat in the field, as you said, in the first 500, and then middle 1,000. They're doing the business really.
So there's the 7:50 to go mark, and it is Switzerland 1 in the lead.
Look how well they're hanging off those blade handles. That the blades go in, those arms are so long and straight, but the blades seem to really connect at full length, really hanging off it. And then they've got that, again, really quiet kind of finish that we also saw from their men's pair that you noticed,
Yeah,
Martin.
that's really interesting, actually. Now you say that, Greg, through the back ends. There's the 2 Czechs. Marketa Nikolova, the 27-year-old, in the bow seat. Alice Potskova in the stroke seat, the 23-year-old.
I'm interested in this South African pair double. They've done really nicely here, I think, gaining experience to hang on into the side of the race, just over here on the side lane. We wouldn't expect them to be the slowest. They were 3rd in that exhibition race, but they're hanging in there, and I wonder if they'll be able to move back on the Lobnig sisters.
Yeah, I think it's important to say for the Swiss, they're not set in terms of doing the double. You know, they may do the quad. One of the quads, Celia Dupre, I think she's in the US studying, and Pascal Walker, the fastest women's single. She won the B final here this morning. She's had COVID in the last 3 weeks, while she's not in the A final. So the Swiss, you know, their combinations for the World Championships are kind of not known yet, but, you know, what a great start for Schweitzer and Lotscher out there on the far side, leading the Austrians, the Lobnig sisters.
Yeah, like you say, the stroke rate looks like it's gone up now. You can see it in the Swiss double in the last 500, up to 40. Again, we can see the Lobnig sisters looking pretty comfortable here. I wonder if Ukrainians can come back on the South Africans in that race for the bronze medal. It's just out of our picture now.
I think probably not, judging by that shot as we pull out.
Shot now.
South Africans are going to get a bronze medal by the looks of things. The Swiss, they're having a fantastic regatta here. I think they got 10 crews in the final today. It's one of the best Swiss World Cup final results ever, I think, and they are going to start with a win in this 3rd place event. They're going through the gears now, and Lisa Lotscher winds up the rating, coming through to the finish. No thought of the quadruple sculls to come. They're going to win by clear water from the Austrians. Switzerland take the gold medal. Great result, big celebrations. The Lobnigs heads down, silver medal. The South Africans will be delighted, I think, with that bronze medal coming in ahead of the Ukrainians. Switzerland 2 on the far side, Salome Ulrich and Sofia Mikin, and back in 5th place, it's Nedolova and Prosikova from the Czech Republic.
Yeah, and delight for that Swiss double taking the win. They were very determined, and they really did go for it because they looked nice and loose and relaxed until about, I don't know, 250 to go, and then there was a real change.
Yeah.
It looked almost really quite aggressive the way they were going for it in the last 500 or last 250.
And you've got to say credit to them. They've got a race in the women's quads against the Ukrainians, and It wasn't like they thought, well, we've got to just, you know, ease off the gas. Full
No,
credit
certainly.
to them.
Certainly, well, they're here to race, they're here to get practice and training and know what it's going to be like. Maybe they'll even think, you know, whether doubling up's an option, who knows?
Oh, that's a big call, isn't it? Doubling up in women's doubles and women's quads for Olympic
unlikely
qualification.
to happen beyond too much,
The Swiss have got loads of good scullers, though, haven't they? You know, Sophia Meekins come into the open weight team, the lightweight. Inspired by their attempts. Look, that's well over clear water, isn't it? What, half a length of clear water ahead of the Austrians. Look at that celebration. Lovely to see.
Yeah, fantastic. They sculled a very good race, didn't they? You see confirmation there, your 3 medalists from Switzerland, Austria and South Africa, going the same way as the exhibition race. But they were spread across the course for us.
Winners of the gold medal. Switzerland!
Very good race. Bided their time in the first quarter. Big leap. They've still got stuff in their legs for the women's quadruple coming up. But Fabienne Schweitzer, 25 years of age, a health professional from SC Luzern. And Lisa Locher,
And Lisa Levska.
one of those world champion rowers from the Swiss quad at the under-23s. From Megan, also in the canton of Lucerne, coached by the Aussie Nicholas Lloyd. Obviously working under the direction